Hey guys, welcome back to Judo Highlights. So we've gone from the Junior World Championships now to the senior level. Abu Dhabi Grand Slam has begun. So let's have a look at the day one highlights, starting off with a couple of really nice ippons. How about this one from Jarring? Now what's kind of crazy about this one is it was a wazari. They called it a wazari. I don't think you can get more flat on the shoulders than that. Now this one here, this was a really strong seoi otoshi. And now we'll talk about some of the results. So at the start of the video I had a nice throw by Takeoka, but here he is against Buba. Now this was a wazari score. Buba gets on the scoreboard first, and then Takeoka, he comes back, and nice sumigaishi attempt. Goes in really deep between the legs here. Reminds me a little bit of Tsunoda. So equaling the scores, Takeoka wazari, Buba wazari, and then Buba eventually gets the counter, and Takeoka kind of puts him himself in a bad position, and Buba capitalizes on it. So he goes through, and then Takeoka actually makes it all the way through to the bronze medal contest, losing by Shido, so goes home without a medal. That'll be disappointing for him. Now Buba got all the way to the final, and he was up against Chopanov. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know that I think pretty highly of Chopanov. Really exciting judo. So Buba gets a nice wazari here, Hizaguruma. Kind of similar to that Takeoka match where it was up a wazari. And then Chopanov, he comes back, gets a score of his own. Now no shields on the board and a minute left on the clock, so Buba could have played this a little bit better. But here's the wazari score by Chopanov. And then he gets another. So Chopanov here with a ridiculous ochigari gets another wazari and takes the gold medal. Now this ochigari from Chopanov is absolutely insane because he does it off the sleeve side. And he actually did this twice in the tournament. Here's a better look at it from another contest. This sleeve side ochigari. I mean, that's insanely hard to do. Have a look at this freeze frame. And then you'll see his elbow just attack the side of the leg. And so that's kind of a legal way to grab the legs in judo, although that may be changing in the future. Now just a couple more highlights here from Chopanov, and then we'll talk about the bronze medal contest at under 66. This is Tilovov losing to Chopanov, but he beat Takeoka by Shido in the bronze medal contest. And then on the other side we had Dezebov. 2 scores in his bronze medal contest, 2 wazaris. This one here, not the best, but the kataguruma earlier on was nice. So next up we'll go down to under 60. Another Frenchman doing pretty well, Revol. I think everyone knows Revol. He's definitely up there as one of the best guys at under 60. Now have a look at this juji that he does on the ground here. It's in pretty tight. It's kind of hard to finish people from this position. So what he does is he goes for the leg, and then as his opponent thinks about defending that leg drag, he jumps back on the arm and gets a submission. So that was a really nice one. And here's a couple of other highlights. Kochigari from the drop down seoi nage. Revol is really good at that. And so Revol made it all the way to the final, and then he was up against Saiv. Now the French, they've got a lot of guys at Abu Dhabi. Also the Russians, we saw Chopanov taking gold. And Saiv, someone who I haven't really heard of. So it's always good to see, just pay attention to the new Russians that end up coming onto the scene. They're usually very, very high level. Now this is the only score in the entire contest. Went all the way to golden score before a score was given. And Saiv with the counter here, countering the ippon seoi nage from Revol. They do go to the referee commission. Not a Japanese person in sight, but it is what it is. I'm not saying these guys can't make an accurate decision, but I think outside of the matches, when these guys are talking about what is a score and what should be considered a score, I definitely think you need some Japanese input. Now for the bronze medals, Jarring, sumigaishi attempt here, and now at the beginning of the video, he's the guy who had this amazing throw, the classic all soto to Taniatoshi. Now this one, definitely going to be in the highlights. And then for the other bronze medal, Shukenov from Kazakhstan, he won his match by Shido, so nothing to show you guys there. Let's move on to under 52 now. The final between these two ended with Hansakumake here, so Bishrelt, she ends up taking it from the UAE. But in the semi-final, have a look at this, massive uranage from Lahagva Sudan. Little bit of grapevining by Blue, but that's what you get, I guess. You can see her really hooking that leg from the front. It's not going to do anything. I think you're just kind of locking yourself in for a ride. Now the bronze medal contest, here's a Okuri Erijime from Goethes. She gets that on pretty quick. And she looks pretty excited about her bronze medal. Now on the other side of the bracket, you can see two Shidos to Metrot. And then Muminovic, she ends up getting a score. Wazari here, kind of a slow Seoinage. But then Metrot jumps on top and really just goes for this Juji Gatame. And would you look at that, she gets it. Two Shidos down, a Wazari down, 1 minute on the clock. That's a really nice win by her. Now moving on down to under 48, Gilyasova. She ends up with this really nice throw, Sumigaishi, and just a bit of newaza to burn the clock. I mean, when you get a score and you've got 10 seconds left on the clock, this is what you're going to do. Now the Sumigaishi was nice, but this one here from Gilyasova was much, much better. Big Uchimata. Have a look at that. Good control too on the finish. Perfectly pawned by her. Now for the bronze medals, Clement from France wins by Shido, but then on the other side of the bracket, this one was quite interesting. Isht gets a score, bit debatable whether that's a Wazari or not, but then Abuz Hekinova gets the throw, rolls over into the Kesagatame, and secures the hold down for the full 10 seconds for Ippon. So great win by her. And that's it guys for day one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.